So, welcome back everyone. Today, I'm getting back to train because you're watching this a few days ago, in a few days, but it's the 1st of January. Happy New Year. But for you, it's been a couple of days already. Me, not that much. I went to sleep at, I believe, 5 a.m. So I'm not very wake up that much. And yeah, it's just that I'm start preparing for what's coming next week. Because as you saw, we did the annual plan. And so next week I'm start my journey for this year with a lot of things that is going to happen. But there is one key thing that I want relative to this channel and the way I share content with you. I would like to have to share the training I do on the same weekday I do it. Where if I because you see it's dark. Generally when I'm training is pretty late. So what happens is if I share, if I record, then edit, I cannot really actually share the video on the day. I will share it the next day. And so given that I'm start training on generally my Monday is off and I start training on Tuesday. So the first training of the week, you won't get it before actually Wednesday. And so that's I don't believe that's going to work because I want you to see a little bit of what my week look like. So what I want to do is actually delaying everything from about 1 week. So basically I'm doing my training on Monday and then I'm scheduling the video for the next Monday. It's just there is 1 week delay, and I believe it's going to be a much more interesting way that also means that's going to give me some kind of buffer to be able to make sure you always have content every day, because that's kind of the goal I have for this year, is to create content every single day, to put 365 video for the year of 2025 minimum. At least one every single day. So I need to manage that because I won't be necessarily first of all ready all the time. So I need to create content in advance to be able to make sure there is always a video every single day for you. And so that kind of the reason for today. So I'm not yet at the week next at the training next week. I don't start. There's a couple of things that I want to do today, but also I need to start thinking about what content I'm going to put next week, because I won't show you what I'm training next week until the week after. So I need to fill out the content for next week. What I'm thinking is I'm going to be doing a couple of training like this until Sunday. So today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, so that's 5 more videos. And I think I'm going to cut this session in half, where I'm going to do the practice, where we are going to work on technique, because the last session was really awesome, and I actually really want to because we make some breakthrough. And so that was about 2 weeks ago, even though you've seen it like only a few days ago, the last session, but for me it was 2 weeks ago. So first of all, we need to validate what we did last session. And since then, I have done a couple of golf course, 2 actually, where I actually tried to get more comfortable with the motion and so on. And I kind of think I figure out some ways in the downswing to make things work. So we need to validate that as well. Mainly my right elbow compared to Rory McIlroy, I think I'm bringing it down too quickly, where his is staying kind of high and he's building lag as he's keeping his right elbow high. That's kind of the point here. So yeah, today that's going to be that. We are going to validate, and then I'm going to cut the video at the end, do the golf course that you will see later. I'm going to try, because last time I tried to record it, it failed. So I don't know if the software of TrackMan is preventing people from recording their screen when you are doing golf course, or if that's just me that is doing it wrong. So I tried another strategy today. If it doesn't work, I will need to have to figure out other content to produce for next week. let's get to it. So I'm going to warm up and I'll see you in a moment. It is so freaking crazy, freezing. I start also feeling the effect of lack of sleep, alcohol. Yeah, swinging on the first training is not necessarily the best idea ever. Anyway, we are gonna get there. So let's put on the camera. I warmed up. I hit a couple of 6 iron, 8 iron, 6 iron. It's also I use this little thing here with I don't know if you can see it, just right there, because it's kind of windy out there. So I hope the sound is better with that, because last time I didn't use it and with a lot of wind that kind of sounded a little strange. Anyway, so it's 8 iron, 6 iron, 5 wood and our driver. So let's put on the camera from face on so we can see what it actually look like, and then adjust a few and just make how this is a smaller stance. I need to remember that. Yeah, I'm really not loose at all. Yeah, but let's see the first string. How does it look? Okay. Okay, that's not that bad. Not that bad actually. Pretty steady swing. So up, pull, back, go up and back. Really the key here. So let's recap. So I'm pulling my back shoulder here, my shoulder blade back. Yes, just my shoulder back, as I'm pushing forward with my left arm, which actually cancel each other and normally put the club in the right position, where I really need to feel that I'm pulling inside as much as possible, while I'm getting outside as much of, not necessarily as much as possible, but kind of just normally outside. Then this is about setting up the club very steep here, and really that's also something I realized during the holiday, is rotating the hips not necessarily on a flat plane, but instead on an inclined plane, because what I realized is all the thing that I'm kind of working on at the end of the day is trying to make my swing more vertical. So yeah, and I believe that's also what he does, is kind of loading his hips but kind of on a vertical plane instead of a flat plane here. So that's also something as I'm setting the club. So I realized Rory McIlroy has something very interesting with his grip. He's setting his right hand very weak, and I realized, because when you're kind of hinging the club with the club face shut, if the hand is kind of neutral here, what happens is you are going to get the club head very strong. Yeah, very close, and probably it's going to end up close at the top. Where if you're hinging the club and setting, but you have a very weak grip, you can are able to set the club without shutting the club face too much, which is very interesting. So let's look at the swing here. So that's just I finished, because so yes, you set the club, and then once the club is set, this is about pushing the left arm, getting the right arm kind of externally rotating as you are dropping your body and letting your arm fly to the top. That's really the key wow eureka moment we had last time. Is once I'm at my halfway backswing, this is just about letting my body drop as I let. This is really letting the arm continue up, and this is why Rory McIlroy can have relatively high. I mean, in the video I show you, because his swing now is kind of a little bit different. Anyway, so kind of has his arm very high, and then this is what I realized since last time. Once the arm are here, this is about building the leg, as remember having the two heel moving forward. You jump with two heel moving forward, and you build the leg and really try to keep that right elbow high. because what I'm kind of doing is I'm pulled down, okay, but with my right elbow kind of under the left arm. Where Rory, if you look at his swing, the right elbow is taken almost over, or at least in the same plane as the left arm when you are facing the camera. And so that's the key here, because you will see if you try this for yourself. It's much easier to build massive amount of lag like this, where you have this elbow that create a lot of space here. And once you have built the lag, shift the weight, having the two heel jumped forward, then this is really, you're pushing by externally rotating the right leg. And we talked last time, this is a throwing motion of the hips. So the right leg like this, and then backward as much as you can, as hard as you can with the left hip. Anyway, so let's just look at this swing, because I kind of thought it was okay. Okay. Okay, that's not. Oh shit! Sorry, forgot. Yeah, I need to record the screen. Of course, you cannot see it. So I probably need to adjust it. So just take a look at it, and we'll move from there. Here. But I'm kind of very rigid. I'm not loose at all. So I believe the motion are kind of there. It's just that's very difficult with the lack of sleep and the fact that it's absolutely freezing out there. Recording failed. Why? Okay, anyway. Well. Do I have an issue? No. It seems not. So I need to build that lag, and what I felt when I was really wound is I was only almost building that lag and just letting my hip react to it. Ah, no. Nah. But I'm kind of getting up in speed slowly. We are far away from what we are looking for here, because as you saw in my video for the year, it's 130. But I need first to be able to really get the motion. I'm not focusing too much on spin right now. I just want to have the motion. And once I have the motion, then we will focus on getting faster through that motion. But because the key here, if I want to reach my goal of 130 by the end of the year, every time you change your technique, you're kind of taking a step back. And because the body needs to adapt, and so of course you're not going to be able to swing faster. So first goal, well, this first month, or even January, February, going to be, okay, get the motion right, get comfortable with it, so we can then, throughout the rest of the year, just focus on getting faster and faster and faster. So let's just try to really build that lag. Okay. Just that I'm going to probably need a lot to look at it in detail at home, comparing the swing to side, to see where we are at, because it's difficult for me to have a clear idea of what I'm doing wrong and right. So let's remember, I want the club to be almost fully set right here. So still maybe because I'm pushing too much with the left arm, I'm not setting enough with the right shoulder. Because remember, every time you give too much momentum to the club, the longer it will take to set. So if you want to, if I want to be able to set it correctly, the halfway pump, I should not give too much momentum on the on the takeaway. So here it's okay. There I'm kind of dropping a little bit, but not that much. Arms are relatively high. The only thing that is really different here from Rory is he has a very straight left arm at this position. So maybe that's something I need to try to understand. What are the key elements? Because I feel that I'm kind of keeping my left arm straight, but apparently I'm not. So there is something here to look at. Then the shift is not even nearly close enough to be with at the moment where I start my downswing and shift to the left side. So let's try to really exaggerate to the maximum of my ability here. And of course, by building insane amount of lag, what I found is actually then the club is going to come way too much from the inside and shut. Because what I need to do, because that's also something I found, is Rory is turning a lot more hard impact compared to me. Okay, that's a little bit better, but he's turning a lot more at impact. And what I believe is that's kind of a consequence of building the lag a lot more. Because if you are able to build massive amount of lag, the issue if you're not kind of pulling, when you are building that lag, you are closing also the club face. And so if you are not pulling hard through impact, the grip through impact to keep the club face square is going to hook like this one. So I believe the motion was kind of right with the lag building part, but I didn't turn through aggressively enough. Well, until now, because I'm releasing the lag too soon, if I rotate aggressively through impact, I'm going to miss right. So that's kind of the thing. So anything that start missing left is a kind of good sign, because then it's just about kind of rotating through, pulling the handle through towards the target. No, I don't feel it. I'm kind of thinking, okay, I didn't want this session to be that long anyway, so let's switch angle, because I believe there is some key elements that I want to see on down the line that might help fix the bad sensation I have here. That way I will have footage from down the line, footage from face on. I can do the two montage side to side with Rory to have a clear idea. Okay, this is my starting point in 2025, and then session after session we will evolve, but that's already start looking relatively cool. So let's switch camera. First I'm going to do just a few face on with you and my iPhone, so I'm sure I have some quality swing recorded, and then we'll kind of move on. Hop, zoom. There we go. That's kind of okay here. There we go. It's okay? Yeah? It seems to be okay. So, just to do swing with that, to make sure, okay, I'm right in the right place. So some quality footage here. And then I will look at down the line, and I will explain to you the key elements that I have seen here. Don't record it. It's so freezing. Winter is definitely here. Okay, so on this one I didn't drop enough. That was the key element here. So once I'm set here, I really need to drop to let my arm fly up. Okay. It seems to, yeah, arm really high here. So that's really the key you see here. I'm not trying to get my arm higher. In fact, I'm just relaxing my body, letting my body drop and just letting my arm rise. And that's really this motion of the shoulder here, where you have your shoulder joint that are just doing this motion. And that's really that. Once the club is set 90 degrees, here, I'm just letting my arm rise as the club is rising. And what I realize is actually this kills the momentum of the club, which kind of sounds counterintuitive, because if you are locking your arm here, what happens is the club is going to start pulling you, and is going to, first of all, start accelerating because you're kind of creating an anchor point here. So the club is going to start accelerating around your arm and then pulling you very hard here. And so this is actually going to make you overswing. Where if when you are reaching this point, you're just letting your arm rise as the club is perpendicular to the ground, what happens is the momentum of the club is just continuously rising towards the top. So it's kind of gravity is killing the momentum of the club. Where if you're blocking here, what happens is this accelerates the club, and then the momentum of the club is going that way, which is going to make your swing even longer. So that's kind of the thing I have understood here. Very interesting. So okay, that's kind of okay, but we see that when I'm dropping, then I'm kind of not reacting enough from the ground. Whoa! What? 110? 110? I didn't even... Well, I mean, I'm able to swing 110, that's not the first time, but it didn't feel like I put more effort than any other swing I did before. So there is, well, yeah, there is something here. We're on the right track. That's awesome. So here and then dropping. Maybe that was a misread. You don't know. Anyways, that was still 162, but yeah, this one wasn't that greatly hit anyway. So what I'm thinking is, okay, when I drop and having both of my move that way, then it's going to be about continuously building that lag as I'm extending up and almost whoosh, letting the club snap through. Maybe let's try that, because the issue is the more I'm focusing on that, the less time I have to actually explode up and so on. So if I just don't focus on on releasing the lag, but just focus only on building that lag and then just letting it rip through. I don't know if that's possible or if that's even a thing, but that's kind of my guess here, because when you are trying to do too much things at once on the downswing, things can get very ugly very quickly. Not that bad. You remember when I said throwing the right hip, throwing the hip in terms of rotation? The first thing that needs to happen is actually those two here forward, because then you make sure that, first of all, because the risk that happen when you're trying to rotate your hip very fast, there is two things that can happen when you're doing that can actually throw your swing off. Is having the kind of the left hip moving that way, because this is going to affect your upper body, that is going to come over the top. So by having the left heel moving a little forward, you're kind of first closing the left hip. That way, when you're actually trying to rotate as hard as possible, it's kind of locked here. That's very difficult. Once you have set here and the butt is a little bit forward, that's really difficult to then do that. That's kind of the thing. And then here, this is especially true with the driver for both hips. And the opposite side with the right hip is actually having kind of the heel moving that way, which is also going to have the upper body moving over the top. So by moving the right heel forward to then push, by externally rotating the right leg, pushing the right hip, throwing the right hip forward, that's kind of the thing. So what I'm thinking is, okay, yes, there is those two moves, but those two moves are just kind of you set before you throw, So this happened really quickly. When you build the lag, it's like you set and throw. Maybe that's something, because Rory is swinging his hips so fast that probably that's something like that. Let's try to throw those hips after I've done things relatively correctly. I believe I didn't do a good enough end of backswing. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Wasn't that bad. Anyway. I'm kind of confused with the... Because, once I'm here, if I start doing that too soon, here, okay, he's building the lag as he's doing his downswing, not during the transition. Transition is I'm dropping here, then I have this where I throw really both hips forward, keeping my upper body a little bit shut, and then once I'm rotating both hips, this is the moment where you build that game. Okay, let's think about it that way and see what happened. Because one of the key elements, and one of you pointed out in the comment, is the fact that I releasing the lag too soon. So maybe the idea of building the lag as late as possible in the downswing might be a way to release it later, because the sooner you build it, the more time it has to release it too soon, let's say. Where if you just keep the wrist not really set for as long as possible, and then at the very last moment you're setting it, boom, okay, you can really release the lag as late as possible. So maybe that's the key. So here, drop, and so yeah, it's almost like once I jump both here, I'm not building the lag until I'm throwing the hips. This is only when I'm throwing the hips that I really need to build that lag. Oh, fuck it. That's kind of confusing for my brain. Anyway, I think we have enough for the baseline for this year. I'm going to put the camera, yes, the other camera, my iPhone, down the line to just talk through a little bit of the things that I'm looking for down the line. And then I believe we will be good for this session. I'm going to try the little golf course after that, just to see if I'm able to record golf course or not. If so, if I'm able to do it, then you will have a ton of content related to a digital golf course, because currently it's a bit freezing out there, and taking my camera out where I'm not sure it's going to rain or not. Yeah, but we will do this year a ton of golf course in real life, not virtual. And I will bring that camera, so we will have amazing footage on the golf course. Don't worry about that. So now, down the line, what I find the main difference is, maybe that was because I wasn't dropping, but mainly Rory there is two key differences between me and Rory. He's kind of keeping first of all, his hips doesn't seem to rotate that much. Second of all, he's kind of maintaining his angle a lot more top of his backswing, but as I said, because before me, I was kind of letting my club pull me, where here, if I just drop like this and let my arm rise, the club has no effect on getting me out of my posture. So I believe that's that. And then, yeah, this is about building lag, and there is, yeah, this idea of rotating through. So if I build the lag, that is going to be a little more complex, because I need to do everything right until impact to be able to arrive the same impact position. As long as I'm doing something wrong, I won't be able to. So let's just see a first few swing. I don't believe it's right on the right spot here. Let's put it right there. Yeah. Okay, that's with a motion that I'm not comfortable with. I'm still having like 107, 109, 108. Okay, so the camera is completely off, but that's kind of okay here. Wow. Yeah. There we go. Let's try this one now. But it kind of looked okay, but I would like to have a relatively okay angle to see what's going on. I'm getting slowly faster. Okay, so club relatively okay. I mean, hips are still too much open. Be slower, this one. Still 106. Wow. Honestly, I'm amazed to because last time when we did all those changes, I was kind of getting a lot of extremely slower as I was doing them. So the fact that I'm not, also given how fatty I am, that's kind of looking good here. Okay, I guess we'll do like 2 to 3 more balls because I want to have enough for the virtual golf course. This is so much. You know what? That's really annoying. That's not annoying because they cannot. That's kind of not their fault. That's not them the issue. Just winter. But basically, it's too muddy on the practice run to retrieve the ball to get to the. So I can just get them from the machine. I need to get out, walk in the mud, and that's not even. I'm not breaking any rule here. This is them. They have told us that they cannot get the ball, and if we want them, we can get them for free, but we have to get there. Get them, walk in the mud, and get our own balls. Anyway, so in the dark, getting the ball in the mud, that's not very funny. So I've been able to retrieve some. I don't want to have another session doing that. Anyway, so also it's kind of, that's what I'm, because maybe I'm just too loose and letting my arm kind of, okay, I let my arm fly, but it seemed to me that it's actually a lot shorter as well, a little more at least. Oh, he's resisting a lot more. That's also that. Oh, maybe, yeah. Instead of just. Oh, now I'm thinking about it. Another thing I believe maybe I'm doing less good than Rory is my shoulder rotation at the top. Because, of course, if I'm not creating a big separation between my upper and lower body, my hips have to move more in order to finish the backswing. So let's try that where I do here, set the club, and then as I'm letting my arm elevate, I try to rotate as much as possible my shoulder. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to come back down from that position, but anyway, let's try. It would be very interesting to see how it looks from the phone. Yeah, it seems that the lips are kind of. I believe that's the point, but that's not the point of today. Today was just about. I will see the video, but the point of today was just about getting the baseline for this year, and I believe we've done that. So, thank you for watching. I'm going to continue do the golf course for you next week if it works. If it doesn't, well, I'm gonna have to find some other content for you next week. And next week for me, I'm going to start training, showing you the annual plan on Monday, because this is my day off. I'm not training, so what I will do on Monday is actually I'm going to make either a specific subject video, like on a specific topic that you request, or I will just walk you through building the mesocycles, or updating your training plan on the spreadsheet we have built, because we have built the annual plan, but we have not built the mesocycles, the week by week basis. And because I told you that you can do as you go, and so we are in January, so let's just make Monday the plan for January, and then we'll go. That's going to be 1 week every month. Then for the other weeks, it's going to be just chit chat and other probably information. I'm going to try to find interesting subject. Anyway, thanks you for watching.